as you're saying, you always had the legal authority to stop deportations. Then why did you deport 2 million people?
Jorge,
For 6 years you
no,
did it. You
listen,
destroyed
Jorge,
many families.
Jorge,
They called you deported in chief.
you called me deported in chief. I did
Janet
not.
Murguia from the
But let me say this, Jorge.
But you could have stopped that.
No.
That's the whole idea.
That is not true. Listen, here's the fact of the matter.
You could have stopped them.
Jorge, here's the fact of the matter. It's about all the people who are paying a price because of a broken immigration system. All the communities that are taking immigration enforcement into their own hands. All the neighborhoods that are seeing rising tensions as citizens are pitted against new immigrants. The American people need us to put an end to the petty partisanship that passes for politics in Washington. And they need us to enact comprehensive immigration reform once and for all. They need not, we can't wait 20 years from now to do it. We can't wait 10 years from now to do it. We need to do it by the end of my first term as President of the United States of America.
You could have stopped that.
No. That's not true. Listen, here's the fact of the matter.
You could have stopped them.
Jorge, here's the fact of the matter. As President of the United States, I'm always responsible for problems that aren't solved right away. I regret millions of people who didn't get health insurance before I passed health insurance and before I implemented it. I regret the fact that there are kids who should have been going to college during my presidency, but because we didn't get to them fast enough, they gave up on college. The question is, are we doing the right thing, and have we consistently tried to move this country in a better direction? And those, like you sometimes, Jorge, who suggest that there are simple, quick answers to these problems. A top priority in my first year as president, not only because we have an obligation to secure our borders and get control of who comes in and out of our country, not only because we have to crack down on employers who are abusing undocumented immigrants instead of hiring citizens, but because we have to finally bring undocumented immigrants out of the shadows. It is time we did that. And those, like you sometimes, Jorge, who suggest that there are simple, quick answers to these problems. I think no, yes, you do, because that's how you present it. And I think when you present it in that way, it does a disservice, because it makes the assumption that the political process is one that can easily be moved around depending on the will of one person, and that's not how things work. We spent that entire time trying to get a comprehensive immigration reform bill done that would solve the problem for all the people. So right now, by the actions that I've taken, I still have 5 million people who do not have the ability to get registered and be confident that they're not deported. In fact, what's going to happen sometime over the next 2 days, week, month, is that there are going to be some folks who are still caught up in the system because we have to go and train ICE workers so that they are responding in a different way. And so the question I have for you, Jorge, because you're going to have a big voice, is are you going to do a good job in, now that we've taken these actions, making sure that people understand what their opportunities are, how we can take advantage of it, and how we can build to make sure that going forward, not only as many people register as possible, if you've been here for 5 years, if you have a child who's an American citizen or a legal permanent resident, that you are likely to end up signing up, so that we build up that capacity and we lay the groundwork for passing comprehensive immigration reform. Because if we don't do that, then it is true that there are going to be a whole bunch of folks who try to push back, and this is necessarily a temporary measure designed to help as many people as we can right now. I confess I did not expect, and so I'm happy to take responsibility for being naive here, is that Republicans who had previously supported comprehensive immigration reform, my opponent in 2008, who had been a champion of it, and who attended these meetings, suddenly would walk away. That's what I did not anticipate. And as you know, Jorge, even though we controlled the House of Representatives, even though we had a majority in the Senate, the way the Senate operates was if you couldn't get 60 votes, you couldn't get something moving. So we initiated the meetings, had a series of meetings, and what we could not get was a single Republican, including the 20 who had previously voted for comprehensive immigration reform, to step up and say, we will work with you to make this happen. Not only was it fairly recently that we had some Republican support, but even now you have voices like the former governor of Florida, Jeb Bush, who has said that the Republican Party has taken an extreme view, a wrong approach when it comes to immigration reform. So my hope is that after the election, when the #1 goal is no longer beating me, but hopefully the #1 goal is solving the country's problems, if they have seen that people who care about this issue have turned out in strong numbers, that they will rethink it, if not because it's the right thing to do, at least because it's in their political interest to do so.